Do you have your money all in one bank? If so, you and I need to talk. I'm Professor Capko, and I make videos about law, accounting, business, math, study skills, and today we're going to talk a little bit about personal banking. If you are someone who likes those subjects, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. I'm a small channel and it really helps me to be discovered. So I very much appreciate each and every thumbs up. Thank you. If you have all your money in one bank, you have put all of your proverbial eggs into one basket. Now, I've done a series of videos about the current banking crisis, and perhaps you haven't seen those, or perhaps you might be saying, what banking crisis? Or some of you might think the banking crisis is over. There were some very large banks that failed earlier in this year, but things seem to have quieted down, or at least according to the news. But there are some other problems coming about, and we'll talk a little about them briefly here. But the main thing I want to talk to you about, and again, this is not financial advice, it's not legal advice, it's not accounting advice. I'm not a financial planner. I'm just telling you what my thoughts are and what I'm doing and what I suggest to my family. I don't want to ever have all my eggs in one basket. You hear about diversification with regard to investments. That's a good idea with regard to your banks. First and foremost, if you have more than $250,000 in one bank, you are beyond the FDIC's insurance limits. You are at risk of losing anything above $250,000 if it's in one bank. So if I had that much money in one bank, I would move some of it to a second bank. And when I say a second bank, I mean a different company. Do not just say, well, I'll just put it in a different branch. No, it's not a different branch of the same bank. It's a completely different bank, or move it to a credit union is another option as well. And just because you're in a credit union doesn't mean you're safe either, because they might be experiencing some of the same issues that the banks are. The other thing is, if you're saying, well, I don't have anywhere near $250,000 in the bank, so it's not a problem for me, you also need to worry about that, because there are other issues that could come along. It's my understanding, and I don't know if this is true, so this is just what I heard. I heard that yesterday that Chase Bank, which is the largest bank on the planet, Chase Bank had computer issues that impacted all of their branches nationwide. Again, I don't know if that's true. Did anybody else hear anything like that? If you heard something like that, put it down in the comments. And this is not about Chase Bank per se, and this could happen to any bank. Have computer issues. They all are completely reliant upon computers, so they could have a problem and it would impact you, because it may make it where you cannot withdraw your money until they resolve those computer issues. So that is something you want to keep in mind. And if you had all your money in one bank, and you go, even if you went to a different branch of that same bank, if they're all having the system-wide computer issues, you won't be able to withdraw your money. That could be a problem. But if you have diversified and you have your money in a different bank, you have more than one bank, you could say, okay, well, that bank is having issues, no problem, they'll get them fixed. I'll just go to this other bank, this other company, and I'll get the money I need there. Do you see why diversification would help you? It's definitely helpful in that regard. And again, that's not just about Chase. I use that as an example because Chase is such a large entity, you would think maybe that, oh, they're not going to ever have problems, right? They're going to always have their computers up and running. Nope, it can happen to anyone. So that is why no matter what bank you're in, you want to diversify and have at least some money in another bank so you can get to it in the case of a problem. If there is a problem with that bank, maybe they get hacked. You hear about hacking, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but you hear about hackers. Maybe some advanced hackers might hack another bank. So you've got to be aware of that and protect yourself by having more than one bank to bank with. Also, keep some money on the side, keep some cash for emergency purposes, just in case. Where I live, we get hurricanes, and there's been some bad hurricanes recently for us, and when the hurricanes hit, the power is down, you can't use ATMs. The banks will be closed and the ATMs are closed, and it's not convenient to drive all the way out of the hurricane zone just to get some cash, especially if what you need is gas for your car. If you don't have gas and the systems aren't working, if you don't have a little bit of cash on the side, you might be hurting. So, of course, as a hurricane prep, you want to have cash, but not just hurricanes. It could be anything. Have some cash on the side. Diversify your banks into more than one. There are, of course, online banks. I don't care which ones you sign up for. There's some online banks. USAA has an online bank. Ally here has a bank. There's a lot of them. Look into them. I even have a video about a bank that's associated with PayPal. And so that's just fine. If you use PayPal, remember, money that's just held in PayPal is not insured by the federal government. It's not FDIC insured. You have to move it over to the PayPal savings account, which is associated with the bank. I'll put a link to the video so you can learn more about that. But there are plenty of online banks if you don't want to go to get another physical bank. I personally like to have at least 2 physical banks, because that way I can actually go to a branch and talk to someone and get my money out in cash. But you don't have to. I do have online banks as well, so there is nothing wrong with an online bank. I just like to diversify and have different options. Options are what it's all about. So what are your thoughts? Can you think of some additional reasons to have more than one bank? If you do, put them down in the comments. If you think I'm completely wrong, if you think go with one particular bank and put all your money there, tell me that in the comments as well. I'm just telling you what my thoughts are and the strategy that I and my family are using. Tell us what your strategy is. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Thank you.